Oops.
All right, you ready to get started?
Oh, all right.
Here we go. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 98 with Gina DeLucia. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our private Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I want to let you know that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is censored. I'll do my best to cut out any foul language. However, I think that we're in a pretty good place and everybody is watching their language, and it's been really nice and smooth. So thank you, everyone. I have a feeling we won't have any problems with Gina because she's a classy lady. And Brian, I think you're getting classier by the week.
I'm a classy lady too.
And Vaughn was on suspension for 3 weeks because of his language, but now he's back.
Now I'm back,
Welcome
and I
back,
promise
Raz.
not to say anything dirty.
I think he's learned his lesson.
I'm going to be real funny and not say anything bad.
There you go. You can do that. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you on it. For $3.99 a month, you can become a premium member of Lift Heavy Run Long and get be subscribed to the LHRL Daily, which has body weight workouts, barbell workouts, and daily WODs that are delivered straight to your calendar through the app, and you'll also be part of the Lift Heavy Run Long community. We also have any of our programs that you can use for the low fee of $9.99. Our programs are written by the great Valerie Hunt, endurance runner, who is also on the app, and she's always available to answer your questions, and we are building something great over there. The point of the app is to try to deliver fitness to as many people as possible for as low of a price as possible. However, if you know someone who is going through some hard financial times for whatever reason it might be, whether it be drugs or alcohol or depression or divorce or just plumb out of luck, and they need fitness in their life, or you need fitness in your life, you don't have $3.99 a month, send me an email at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com, and you're welcome to use it absolutely free.
Or you can just message me and I'll give you my login.
That's right, whatever. We're pretty much give you everything. Next to me, I have the most attractive woman in the world, the most wonderful woman in the world. She amazes me every day with her beauty, her elegance, her intelligence, and her willingness to put up with me.
That's the key.
Wow.
And what a gifted mother she is to the children.
Thanks.
Jacked and tan, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm jacked up. Can you tell I'm jacked up?
I can.
You know why I'm jacked up?
Why?
Because you know what day it is?
Podcast day.
It's podcast day. Absolutely right. We have everybody here. We have the house is full.
The house is full.
And I'm psyched up about that.
We even have a peanut gallery.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We have Connor. Connor, what's your last name? We got Connor Warman and Matt Reynolds, one of our former guests. And they're here to make sure that everybody walks the line. They're Gina's security.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to
Bodyguards.
treat her the way that Gina's supposed to be treated. And if anything goes awry, then they got backhands waiting for all of us.
Did we get the rider, all the stuff in the
That's
rider
right.
worked out?
Yeah, we have the
Okay.
M&Ms separated.
Exactly.
We have the Skittles mixed with the gummy bears, and everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
And to Amanda's right is Gina DeLucia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to drive all the way out here from Oxford, Mississippi.
No problem.
I take that as a real compliment that people are willing to travel to be on our podcast.
That is huge.
You know, there was a time that I didn't even want people to know we had a podcast.
Kind of defeating the purpose of the
Well,
podcast.
we had to work our way into it. You know, there were some pretty awkward times, and I thought, I don't even really know if I want this getting out.
That actually is very true.
Yeah.
Because Wilson, there was a time where Wilson was like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want anyone to know. I don't want to talk about it. Nothing. I don't want to be anybody's coach. I don't want to sell anything to anyone. I don't know what we're doing, but we're not doing any of that. And now we're doing all of that.
And I don't want my name associated with I was so insecure. I was like, I don't want my name associated with Lift Heavy Run Long, but I want to be part of Lift Heavy Run Long.
And now it's yours.
Next to Gina, we have the man who's been missing in action for 3 weeks.
I have.
The Reverend.
Wow. I'm
Von
here.
Ross.
I'm so happy to be back.
Man, I'm happy to have you back.
Well, I'm glad that you're happy that I'm back.
Well, I want to know, since you've been gone, Jackson, your son, has become a professional athlete.
Well, here's the
Semi-pro.
thing. He's a basketball player, and he's really good at it.
How old is he?
He is 11.
Okay.
And he's in the 5th grade, and he is good. And I want to help him any way I can to do that even more. And so I decided that I was going to look up this thing called AAU basketball.
Woo!
Which if you go play college basketball, all the NBA, everybody when they're kids played in the AAU basketball league, apparently. I know nothing about it, right? And it all started with like a Facebook post where I was like, my kid wants to play basketball. What do I do? Like, I have no clue. And people posted and told me who to contact and what should be happening and all this stuff. So I tried it. And so over the last couple of months, we've just been back and forth with these different teams and getting the runaround from a couple of them, and then like what's happening. And so finally he has a team, and a couple of weeks ago he got on the team and has been practicing with them. And now we're going to games, which is completely out of our element, but it's like us going, what we have no clue what's going on.
I figured you knew all about AAU basketball.
I had no
Didn't
clue
you play
about it.
high school basketball?
I played basketball until I was in. I quit my senior year because I was decided I was just going to skateboard, but I was pretty good at it. But I never did.
Not AAU.
I
good.
never played. I might have been, but I never played competitive basketball, so I don't know how this works.
Right.
And so we've had to kind of navigate it and try to figure out what in the world is going on and how I can get him to do this and that. And so finally, I think we found our way. But now it's like last night we didn't get home till 10 o'clock. Right? He's playing a game right now. And so
do you think that Jackson got his footwork from watching me in the gym?
yes.
I think it was
He did. It was that one Saturday afternoon.
I know
He
which
was
one
there.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And speaking of selling things, we should probably be looking at selling Jackson's college career to somebody in AAU.
That's right.
So we need to find a manager, young, and we need to put a price on him.
Yeah. He's not scared, man. That's the one thing. Like I said, I was pretty good at sports, at basketball when I was a kid. He's good at it, but the thing he has that I don't have is confidence. Like, he doesn't care. Like this one team he was going to get on, the coach, I guess he couldn't get the other kids together, but he had another 16-year-old team. And so he was like, oh, Jackson just practice with us until the other kids show up. And so for like 3 weeks, he practiced with this 9th grade, 10th grade
Really?
team.
And he
was
loved
just
it.
out there practicing with them. He just loved it. And so finally we had to just ditch that team because no one ever showed up. So we finally got onto a team. But now you take him into this thing where he doesn't know anybody and he's not scared. He just walks right in and plays. Whereas me as a kid would be like, oh God, I can't be here. You know? So it's good that he has that thing where he's not scared. He's
Right.
he is the man, and he'll walk in and show you.
Speaking of the man, and speaking of skills and natural talent,
He's a good segue.
we have the man sitting behind the camera, Brian Swanson. How are you, Mr. Swanson?
I am well.
And you have a fine-looking new ride.
I did. I got a
You
new
didn't
truck.
tell me that you were getting a truck.
I saw your truck on the way in.
He told us
told me.
last week.
Oh.
Did you Carvana that thing or?
No.
No.
I got it from CarMax actually.
What is Carvana? Is that like code for carjack?
Carvana is this crazy new thing where we got my wife's newest car,
That's right. We saw that.
and they bring the car on a truck to your house and drop it off, and
It's
pick
internet
up your-
ordering your used car,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
deliver it to you just like Amazon Prime would.
Yeah. Well, however you did it, you did good, and it almost matches your shirt, the Lift Heavy Run Long shirts.
Well, I've been meaning to talk to you about the color of these shirts. They're not quite Notre Dame blue enough,
Yeah?
which my truck
Oh, my
is.
goodness.
So
Oh, okay. Well, your truck looks good,
Thank
and
you.
the LHRL shirt looks good. And when you get out of your truck with your LHRL shirt, you look good.
I'm dressed to impress right now.
They both look good. So prepare to help everyone that you know move every time there's a problem.
Oh, it's broke down that weekend.
So if you know lives that are falling apart, then prepare to get closer with those people as you help move their stuff from one place to another. That's coming from a guy who's owned a truck and trailer his entire life.
Okay.
So I've moved the city of
So
Memphis.
I should give them your number when they call me.
No, because I drive an Altima. Because I drive a little Altima.
I tried to talk him into a truck, and he's like, absolutely not, because I don't want to move people.
'Cause I don't wanna
mean,
help.
he's worried about
I'm
moving
not
people.
that nice of a guy.
I don't want to be, well, there may be some truth.
I used to have a truck, and no one ever asked me to move. But then again, I
'Cause they
don't
knew
ever
you
answer
might
the
not even
phone.
show
So,
up.
I was
so
gonna say,
when they
they-
called, I never knew
They
that
probably
they were moving.
did, and then you just didn't go over there. You're like, yeah, okay, that's cool, man. We went to
Words.
we just left. Very sad. I was trying to think of the right way to go into this. We just left Carly Aldridge's father's visitation. Very sad thing at Olive Branch CrossFit. Carly, who was a guest on the podcast last week, she's 18 years old.
She's 19.
19 years old. Her father passed away suddenly. He has obviously done a lot of right things in his life because there is a lot and lots of people who care about him. That place was packed.
It's about a 2-hour wait line to
Yeah.
get in there.
Yep, and our heart goes out to Carly. She's one of those people who just has that innocent and kind spirit to her, and she's probably babysat the majority of the kids at Olive Branch CrossFit at some point in time, and she talked about her family all the time, and I just can't imagine what she's going through right now. But if there's anyone strong enough to make it through and become better because of it, it's Carly. So we love you, Carly, and we're thinking about you.
Definitely.
And also Sam Renfro, he lost his father-in-law this week. So it's been sort of a tough week for a lot of people. But I'll tell you something that is good has come out of it already is watching the members at Olive Branch CrossFit come together for Carly's father to when things are needed and pooling things to get things done, just the members stepping up and saying, whatever, literally whatever, charge me whatever.
You're right.
There hasn't been a price put on anything. It's just
Yeah.
whatever you need, put it on my bill, whatever. And that's not like one or two or five people. That's
Vast majority.
the vast majority of people are just,
And that's
whatever.
that was one of the funny things was there's a group message between all the members and everything, and Brittany is one of the owners of the gym that handles all the finance stuff, and everybody's just like, yeah, whatever, charge my account, like 50 people,
Yeah.
charge
That's
my
what I'm
account.
saying. There's
just
50
charge
people
my
at
account.
least.
She's like,
There was
I
never a
didn't-
dollar
I didn't-
amount
There
mentioned.
wasn't.
They were
I
just
I
like,
was
tell
gonna,
you
I
how
was
much-
gonna put
like what?
put me $5 more than Drew Womack. He's a good guy, and I feel like that would level the playing field.
Right.
But there's not a price.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Like just whatever it happens, put it on my account, and it'll be all good.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's
it's
wonderful
awesome.
to see that. We mentioned the app earlier. We need an app developer. We need somebody to make us an app.
that should be a thing.
Certainly there's some like inherently rich young kid who may or may not have a amphetamine problem who just sits up at night and works on computers that wants to make an app for Lift Heavy Run Long. Do those people not exist?
They do exist.
And they work really hard
You
for
pretty much described every developer in the world.
lots of Mountain Dew,
Right.
little bit of meth. Works on
Actually,
Adderall.
yeah, they're on like Adderall,
Is that
or
Adderall?
something like that. Yeah,
That's
they're-
cool. That's cool. And we can keep them churning on that for as long as is he'll go, and then he, what do they do? Just kind of take off and go AWOL for 6 weeks. We put him in rehab.
You got to give him
pull him back out.
You got to get the B series and give him a certain amount of money or something.
What's
like that.
B series?
Venture capital funding. When this thing goes global and we got venture capitalists, knocking on our door saying, here's $100 million to market this thing.
We got the right. You're the guy to do that. $100 million people. I kill weeds for a living. You think I know anybody that's going to give me?
I know 100 people. I don't know about $100 million people.
100 people who have $1 million.
That may be true.
Yeah. Well, and you know a lot about computers.
I do.
So
I think you need to quit your job, Brian.
So
and
if you
just
gave
focus.
me the Adderall, maybe I could be that guy.
Lifetime
That's what I'm
supply of
getting at.
Adderall.
If you give me the Adderall, I'll think I'm that guy. I'll do the 6 weeks of hard work on nothing and going back to rehab bit. But as far as coming up with an app, that won't work. Hey, guess what we got?
A review.
You think so?
I don't know.
How are you so confident?
Because you said, hey, guess what?
Yeah, because I sounded like
You
really
said you were
excited
about
about
to
it.
deliver a review.
Well, I'm about to deliver. I did not say that. I may have said it with my body
You
because
did.
anybody who's watching this, please leave us an app.
We're almost.
An app.
And leave us, build us an app and leave us a review.
And take some Adderall. Wait, I got a review.
Y'all want to know how many stars it is?
5.
3. Because she
guessed
wrote it.
Gina guessed it.
I didn't write it actually.
I was going to say it could be her, but that's not her. Very inspirational show. Always, it cut off because something's wrong with my computer. I started listening to the podcast after learning the Kales and Ashley Boyd was involved. Great people, by the way. I was blessed to have met them while I was at Ole Miss in 2010. I have struggled with having motivation and focus for fitness, but after learning of the podcast, I have a greater respect for fitness and a healthier lifestyle. I love the down-to-earth advice for life and healthy lifestyles. Love it. Sending love from South Louisiana, Lakin Russell.
Nice.
What about that?
And they signed their names.
Yeah, thank you, Lakin.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff. Now,
Was it 2 people, Lake and or
Lakin.
Okay, got you.
that is
One
the
person.
name, Lakin Russell.
Nice.
So now we just need more Lakin Russells in the world who are willing to leave us a review.
You should call 100 people.
Just start cold calling people in the phone book.
That's an idea.
Maybe we could give a group of teenage kids Adderall and telephones to start just calling random people and asking them to leave reviews.
That's an awesome idea.
Only if I come up with all this Adderall, I don't know if this is going to get dispersed the way it's supposed to.
You may be the one that's gone for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, Wilson will be gone with a heck of a sinus issue.
I don't even know what that means, but it
He
sounds
snorts it.
We got the 100th episode.
funny. It's
coming
creeping up.
What are we going to do for it?
Nothing.
We're going to have anything fall from the ceiling or anything?
Unless y'all want to put it together
Okay.
I like-
clean it up after it falls on from the ceiling.
Yeah, I was kind of scared of there was an idea that you brought up. I don't even remember what it was, but Wilson said if you want to put it together, do it. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But the 100th episode, I'm into that. If you, Amanda, and Brian want to
Organize that.
yeah, I will help. Yeah,
I want to see what this looks like.
This is episode
but don't tell
98.
anybody.
98. Yeah, we got 2 weeks to do it.
2
I've already got
weeks.
some ideas. I'm ready.
You got 2 weeks. Pyrotechnics, people falling, parachuting, free falling. Got to be wild.
Okay.
And it's got to not involve me doing anything.
I can picture it already.
Okay.
Can you set up the podcast equipment?
If we need to set up the podcast equipment somewhere else, we can do that.
Okay, at a minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, or at a maximum. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But don't make the 100th episode surprise be, hey, we want you to set the podcast up somewhere else, and that's where we're going to do the podcast. It needs to be for a reason.
For a live studio audience.
For a live studio audience or for pyrotechnics or people jumping out of airplanes.
You guys should do a workout on the 100th episode.
I don't know if anybody wants to watch me work out.
You're crushing it in the gym lately, so I don't even want to hear it.
Yep.
Maybe before the podcast or after.
Yeah.
Hey, I have someone who wants to give you a shout out. You know, a gentleman named Texas Tom?
Yes. Why?
Well, he gave you a shout out.
Oh.
I sensed some apprehension there. Was I not supposed to bring up Texas Tom?
No, you can bring up Texas Tom. He's a great member at our gym.
Okay.
Nice.
He likes to eat hot dogs.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you haven't.
He
He's
Sounds
okay
like a pretty
about
good
that.
guy so far.
We're good right now. What's the next thing?
Is there a
he likes to
restraining
do?
order or anything like that? No. Okay. Good. I like Tom.
yeah, good kid.
Guess who else says hi?
Who?
Steve Wilk.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, he goes to my gym at home.
I asked him, he said that he wanted me to tell you that the Raw community loves and misses you.
Wow.
Aw,
You're
I
like the
miss
most
them too.
popular guest we've ever
he's-
had.
Yeah.
He's actually watching live right now. He's commented on the feed already.
He was upset at 7 minutes and 5 seconds with Comcast. He thought that they had screwed us over again.
You should bring him down as a guest.
I would love it.
Yeah,
I talk to him every day.
you do?
Steve, reach out.
I've
Get in touch.
never laid eyes on the guy in person, and he's friends with Bo Mitchell, who used to be a member at our gym.
And they had the open at their gym.
They
right?
had the
Okay.
open at the gym,
Yes. We went to that.
and so I have this friendship with Steve through that, where we have a great relationship. We talk, we send funny stuff back and forth. I don't think the stuff that we send back and forth is just ridiculous. But yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I always see him posting on the page, and it's such a small world. Like,
Yeah,
I
getting
know him
smaller.
from home, and yeah.
He also told me this fact, that your parents own a chain of ice cream stores.
They do.
Yeah. And he said that it was phenomenal with
Yeah.
a capital F word in there somewhere. He said it was really good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's called Natural Creamery, and instead of scooping the ice cream, you lay it flat on the pan and you roll it. So it's a little different.
Huh. Where are they located?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Well, let's talk about Gina DeLucia.
Yeah.
That's enough about our ramblings. I don't have anything else on here. We haven't found an app developer, so obviously nobody cares about us. You said that you were at the Open. You also won the handstand walk at the Open.
I did.
That's correct?
Yes.
How did that come about?
They asked for volunteers that wanted to walk on their hands. I think either Connor or Matt just shot my hand up, and then Kiki Dixon picked me. I went on stage and didn't come off my hands.
Was that so? What did y'all have to walk, or did you have to stay in a handstand?
So you had to stay in a handstand, and there were people walking around us on their hands as well, trying to knock you over.
Oh, wow.
So I remember it came down to me and another guy, and we were just going at it. Like our feet were kicking each other, just trying to knock each other down. And
That's pretty intense.
yeah,
How long was that?
I don't know, about maybe like 2 minutes or up
2
there.
minutes. That's a long time to be on
Yeah,
your
it
hands.
felt like longer. But
Yeah. How many people were? That was okay. So this is in Pittsburgh at the first or second week of the
the
CrossFit.
second,
The second week of the CrossFit Open.
yes.
And just for everybody else, they do a live event at a gym when they announce the workout for that week. And so they were at the gym that you were at.
Right.
And it's
Doing the
it's a
live.
big deal.
It's
Yeah,
a huge
it's a pretty
deal.
big
Having the
Yes.
CrossFit Open at your gym is a big deal. They said that they took down all their rigs and said we'll put them back up after we get done.
It was crazy.
whatever.
We went the next morning to do the open workout, and everything was like normal. So
Really?
they set it up, took it down, and it was all back to normal.
That's pretty big.
Did they
task.
really just rip everything out of there?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
How many people you think were there?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm really bad with like estimating numbers, but it was packed. Like you couldn't move
Yeah.
in there.
How many people did you have to go up against in your handstand contest?
There were 2 groups, and then we had a final, so probably about 15, maybe 15 or so.
So you have an athletic background.
Yes,
What is your
I
background?
was a gymnast.
Aha.
I swam for a little bit. I played volleyball for a little bit, and I was a cheerleader. so-
Where did you do that?
At home in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And how'd you get from Pittsburgh to here?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know. I was applying to school schools. I wanted to go somewhere different. I looked at Ole Miss and really liked it. You know, I think everything happens for a reason, and something just led me down here.
Good.
So how long have you been in Oxford?
This is my second year.
Okay.
So I'm a sophomore.
And at what point did you find CrossFit?
I found CrossFit when I was 16 years old. So my mom has been doing it for a while. She influenced me to try it. Before I started CrossFit at 16, she was doing it. And I went to the kids' classes, so I would work out there while she was working out. And then as soon as I turned 16, I was allowed to go work out with the older ladies. So I did that, and then I fell in love with it. And ever since, I've just been working out every day.
Is she pretty intensely into it?
Yeah, she's big into CrossFit. She's also a runner, so she's done 10 or 11 marathons. But
Can
Cool.
she come and do the podcast?
yeah, totally.
Tell
She
her
would
to
love
do it.
that. She can talk about ice cream.
Then she needs to.
Yeah.
Tonight. Can she come tonight?
We like ice
Maybe.
cream.
How soon can we get her here?
She could probably bring some, but it might melt.
I'm not kidding you about putting her on the podcast. If she would come, then we would love to talk
I'm
to
sure
her.
she would love that.
All right. Hopefully they're watching.
Yeah, ask her.
You seem to have a supportive family.
I do.
Surely she would come to Oxford to visit.
Derek is watching.
Derek, that's my dad.
Will Derek come?
Oh
Whoever.
yeah. He would do anything for anyone. He's just
The transition between going from high school sports to CrossFit, I guess, hasn't always been there. You know, I
No.
guess when I was growing up and you went from high school sports to just overeating and doing nothing. You know, there was just nothing. I remember
Right.
being done with football. I tend to mention sometimes that I played football in high school. To just there being nothing. There was no reason to work out. There was no reason to do anything. There wasn't any kind of CrossFit. And now people are picking up CrossFit early and making that their primary sport.
yeah.
I guess that starts you down a trail that you're on now, and you just want to go until you reach the open. I mean, is that what you want to do with your life? Is CrossFit?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
and
I
pretty
love
awesome.
I love it.
What are you getting a degree in?
Marketing.
Okay.
Perfect.
That'll help a box.
Yeah.
She can work there
Well-
and do their finances.
Yeah.
One thing I'm interested
Promote
in is like when you talk about like leaving high school sports and then going to do CrossFit, but what about like during high school sports? Like I never knew anybody. I've known a lot of like people that were good at football or good at basketball and these kinds of things, but we never had CrossFit when we were kids.
Uh-huh.
And so what I'm interested in is like the young kids like yourself who are 16 years old in high school. Like I feel like if your mom gets you into CrossFit and you start doing that whole lifestyle, I feel like you just dominate whatever sport you're playing. Like all of a sudden this dude becomes or girl becomes an awesome volleyball player or dominating on the football field. Like, I don't know. There has to be, like I said, we never had that when we were kids. Like, and the people teaching us didn't even know how to squat. It's like, or squat down to put as much weight on the bar as you possibly
Put
can.
as much weight on there and just
half squat.
pray to God that you come back up.
Right.
Yeah. So my situation was a little bit different. I started CrossFit, I believe I was a sophomore in high school. And at the time I was a cheerleader, so I would go to CrossFit before school at 5 a.m. I would go to school all day and then go to cheer practice after. And at that point, I was just doing CrossFit just to exercise, just to get a little bit more work in. And I was just in love with cheerleading at the time. Like, I thought that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do competitive cheerleading and all of that. So my junior year of high school, I went and tried out for the cheerleading team. Now, I've been cheering since I was really, really small. So I thought I had the tryout in the bag. I was like, okay, I'm already on the team. I've been doing this for so long. I can do it. So after the tryout day went, we got the results back, and I got cut.
Wow.
So that really bummed me out. I remember my best friend, she made the team, and I wanted to be so like excited and happy for her, but I was so sad myself. So then I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do now? So that's when I really started getting into CrossFit, and I started, like doing my own thing in the afternoon and going to the gym in the morning and just really trying to work hard. And I went back my senior year and made the team, but that's a whole other story. But I think that's when I really realized that CrossFit is what I wanted to do.
Everything happens for a reason.
I was
That's
going to
so
say, what a
true.
blessing. I'm
Yeah.
sure that you went into CrossFit like a house of fire when you're like, okay, I didn't make this cheerleading team. I'm fixing to show them what
I'm
time
going to
it
make
is.
CrossFit now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm going to murder it. And then you clearly did. And then the redemption comes when you're like, you know what? Now I'm back on the team and I really don't want this. You can have it.
That's basically what happened.
I really just wanted to make the team.
I just want to
and
make the
now I'm
team
out.
to
So
tell you that I'm quitting the
I
team.
don't want to be on the team.
So peace out, skinny girls. But nobody can tell you what to do with. There is no one who is really. There's no trailblazers for CrossFit. Whereas in high school, you play freshman ball, and then you play JV ball, and then you play varsity ball, and then somebody takes you to college, and you try to get scholarships, you try to make a team, whatever. They don't really have that for CrossFit. You're just kind of on your own and keep working hard, huh?
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, do they have
really wish
trainers
there was.
who claim that they can get a high school individual to the next level?
Oh my gosh, and especially in CrossFit, they're all over the place. Of course, they claim that.
Snake oil salesman. Everybody's got
Is
a
that what
plan.
they are?
Well, I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but there's a lot of people claiming they can do that.
Are there people out there that are known to be, if you want to go to the next level, these are the few people that you should contact, and the rest are just kind of hit or miss?
I can think of a few people that have had quite a bit of success with getting athletes to the next level.
Yeah.
I wish there were like scholarships for college for CrossFit.
Uh-huh.
You know how there's basketball, football.
Are we getting closer
Well-
to that or further away?
Well, I don't know because remember they tried to do the what was the league called the
Yeah.
the professional CrossFit league? I mean, that's not what
it
it's
was
called.
it was
but-
they had
NPL
professional
or something like that.
NPL, yeah, and they had professional teams in every city. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore.
I've never heard of that before.
You know,
Yeah, have I?
like
That's what
McGee.
McGoldrick-
Remember
McGee was on a team.
McGee was on the Rhinos or something from New York or I can't even remember, but like they tried to do that whole professional thing, which would have led into something like that where you have a college team or something, but I don't think it worked. I don't know, but could be execution. Who knows?
That would be hard to make work. That would be hard to get attentive fans to show up to event after event after event with that kind of energy, I would think.
Well, we show up in force like once a year, right? Like
Yeah.
like for the open, like we're all about that. And then the CrossFit Games, we're like, oh, I want to watch that. And everyone will travel there to watch that. What will you do that every week?
Yeah, I think it's so special because it is
Yeah.
not all the time.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 Do you think that CrossFit's getting bigger or small? Do you think it's going
Bigger.
away or gaining?
Oh, I think
momentum?
it's gaining
Think so?
for sure.
You did Wodapalooza.
I did.
Tell me
Nice.
about that.
It was
That's no small deal.
no.
Had
it
you
was
been to
huge.
Miami before?
Yeah, so I went the past 2 years before I competed just to watch. I got really inspired by a lot of the people there, and I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to be on that stage.
How do
So-
you get to that stage?
So it's kind of like the Open. There's an online qualifier. Instead of 5 weeks long, it's only 2 weeks long, and they give you, I think, 3 to 4 workouts a week it was, and you had to complete them, submit it, and they have an online leaderboard just as Open
3 to
does.
4 workouts a week for how long?
For 2 weeks.
Okay. So
Was
that's
it-
a pretty
Yeah,
intense
so they were
season.
like 8 to 10 workouts, I think,
Uh-huh.
something like that total.
Was this a team thing or an individual thing?
You can go team. I went individual,
Nice.
but yeah.
When you went to Wodapalooza to watch, you said that you were inspired by it. I've heard people go to the
Yeah.
games, and we had one guest in particular, Petey Elliott, who went to the games, and that was like her light switch moment where she decided, I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to start eating better. I'm going
Right.
to train harder. And then she just went, like shot up through the rankings and really did well for herself. Was the Wodapalooza one of those moments?
Yeah, I think it was. Just being there the past 2 years, I just thought to myself, I don't want to watch anymore. I want to compete. That looks like so much fun. And being in the environment of downtown Miami, it was incredible, the whole experience.
It looked like you had a wetsuit on. Did they have swimming and?
Yeah, they had a swimming portion. I wore a bathing suit. but
At
yeah.
first, I thought that you were on an aircraft carrier. Because the ocean was behind you and the platform that you were on, I thought, she's on a military aircraft carrier. This is crazy.
That would be
That's
cool.
like a whole nother level competition right there.
Yeah. That's the Navy SEALs.
But then I figured it out because I'm really smart. That it wasn't an aircraft carrier.
Well, you said you
Yeah.
were a swimmer, so did that work out for you, having
The
a swimming event?
Swimming is definitely one of my weaknesses. I'm good
Okay.
at swimming in a pool where there's a lane and the water's not all in my face, but
Yeah, I'm good if
I
I have
don't know.
a raft.
Yeah.
Lounging.
open water, it really was freaking me
It's
out.
scary. Open water
Was
is
that
terrifying.
your first open water swim?
Yes, ever. Like I've swim in the
Wow.
ocean before, just
Right.
playing, but
Wow.
Open water in
That's
the
pretty
ocean
intense.
is
it's
no joke.
It's different when you're getting kicked in the face.
Yeah.
I say it as if I've done a whole
It's
lot
hard.
of open water
I've only
swimming in
done
the ocean.
one. I've only done 2 swims in my life. One was actually in Oxford. I did the double decker, the Rebel Man triathlon. What is it?
But you swim in a pool. You swim in a pool.
You swim in a pool, the city pool, which
Oh,
is
okay.
which is a lane, like, and so mine was like 400 meters with like down, back,
And you can put your
get out of
feet on the
pool.
bottom.
and you can stand up. But I was like pretty fit, and I was like,
Oh, were you?
I'm not worried. I was, and I was like, I'm not gonna worry about this stupid swim. I swam like.
Did you do that with me? Did we do that
No,
together?
not this one.
Okay.
But I swam 25 meters, and I was like one length of the pool, and I was like, oh, gee,
Yeah.
what is going on? And I stood up, and then I was
It
like,
burns,
oh,
it
I got to do
burns.
this again. And then I did it again. And then we went to the open water swim, which was the Village Creek. God, I can't
No,
remember.
the Mighty Might.
Mighty Might.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Wilson, and I got in open water, and I was like, oh, God. I thought I was going to die.
Well, you roped me into. I did the Rebel Man, but I guess I did it a different year than
You
you
did it with Bubs.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I did the what's the double decker? There was one at the time. It wasn't Rebel Man. It was in association with the double decker fest. I can't remember, but I don't even know if it's a thing anymore.
Well, you kind of roped me into the. I guess John Saxey kind of roped us into the Mighty Might, and then you said, "Well, you should do it." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to do it." And I was like, "What about swimming?" And you're like, "I don't know. I guess we should train for it." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess we should." And you're like, "Well, we'll get together." I was like, "Where are we going to train?" And you're like, "I was thinking we'd do it at your pool."
In your backyard.
Like a little kidney shaped, pool. So we went
Totally
to
the same thing.
Went to Tunica.
We did get a Tunica.
to the
yeah.
Tunica Aquatic Center, which happens to have like a 120-foot high dive out there. And we got in the water, and I burned up about 30 meters and thought, that's all I needed. Like that swimming will knock you down for sure. But the open water swim at Mighty Might, swimming doesn't bother me from just a swimming. I'm not a fast swimmer, but being in the water doesn't scare me.
You swam as a kid, though.
Yeah, right. A lot. Pretty good bit.
Yeah, open water swimming is definitely different. I mean, that's one thing
terrifying.
I remember from my triathlon in Austin was like at the time there was like 10 or 15 mile an hour winds, and so like there was literally white caps on the lake, and so like I'm swimming and like you go to take the breath and water's going down your throat at the same time, so it was it's a totally different experience than being in
And
the
that
pool.
can send you into a real panic attack. I mean, the
definitely.
problem with
Yeah,
that
it's
is just being
terrifying.
relaxed.
definitely.
So at any rate, you qualified for Wodapalooza,
Right.
right? And then what happened?
And then when you qualify, you get an invitation, and you get to go. So
Do you have to submit your videos?
Yes.
Your scores via video. You have to have.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the open. Like you have a leaderboard, and then they'll ask for a video, and you better hope that you recorded that one.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then you're going up against how many people at Wodapalooza?
I think there were 30 to 40 in my group.
Is it broken down into age groups?
No, so it's different levels. There's scaled, intermediate, RX, and elite.
Where were you?
I was an intermediate.
And you were competing in front of how many people?
A lot.
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
That's a huge event. Like,
Was that
there are a
intimidating at
lot
all?
of people.
Was that intimidating being in front of all the other people doing the workouts?
Yeah, it was. I kind of just tried to block them out, though, and just act like I was at home.
Do you
working out
like
at
it?
the gym.
Do you feed off of that?
Yeah, I do.
That's
for
got to be
sure.
the ultimate adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it is. Especially seeing my family out there, it just really pushes me.
And how'd you do at Wodapalooza?
I did okay.
What
I definitely
year was that?
learned a lot. That was this past year, so
Okay.
January.
So you haven't been on this course too terribly long. I mean, so
No.
you're climbing up there pretty quick.
Yeah, I
So
really
we're
just
sitting in a
started
room with
getting
somebody
into it.
who's going to be somebody.
I hope so.
You're going to be
It
at the
sounds
CrossFit
like.
Games next year, and you're going to be like, I was never on that podcast.
This is how right, and
we're
this is
going
how
to
it
need you to go
works.
ahead and sign proof or like
That's
sign
right.
forms now so that we
This
can
is
reuse
exactly
that stuff when you become
how
a
it
pro.
works. I mean, you're right on the cusp of it now. You just finished 7th in the state of Mississippi in the Open. I mean,
Nice.
that's incredible.
That's amazing.
7th.
awesome.
7th fittest woman in Mississippi. That's pretty.
I mean, you'd
Not
have to
good.
drive all day to find one of those people that was more fit than you. I mean, you just walk around like, yeah, there's only 7 people ahead of me.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Six.
Six.
Are you going to regionals? Or,
No.
how close were you to going to regionals?
I don't know how close I was to going to regionals, but I mean, there are a lot of states in our region, and I'm pretty sure we're combined with Mexico, right?
Are we
So-
really? I don't
Yeah.
have any idea.
I didn't realize that.
I used to
We
know.
are.
I used to know at one time, and now there was one year where they switched everything up, and I
Yeah,
have
and
no
it kind of
clue
screwed you. Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, accidentally making it into regionals has never been something I'm concerned about. So I haven't spent much time in front of the old map trying to figure out where I fall. But I guess at the end of the day, where you rank in the state doesn't have anything to do with
No.
whether you make it to the games
Not
or
at
not.
all.
I didn't know that either. I just thought the top like 10 of each age group.
No,
made
what is it
each
like
one.
the top? Oh, it's the
top
top
20 in
of
each region.
Yeah,
in the region?
In
Okay.
the region. And so that could be 20 from one state and from 4 other.
it could
Don't
be
have
all
any.
20 from one
Well,
state, I
and,
Yeah.
suppose.
and
Yeah.
actually some regions are combined into kind of like a super region type thing, and so it's even more competitive at that point.
I think they switched it because they had this one region in California where everybody was there, and like they.
Well, yeah, like,
or
people
Rich
moved there.
Froning's region was like just winning everything, and so they had to mix it up or something. I don't really know the whole story, but
Well, don't they have a problem with that, with people moving
Yeah, there was a
to
bunch
be
of
in a
CrossFitters
different
that moved in
region?
California to get in that region.
Yeah. We had problems with that at my high school. People come to play football there. I'm not kidding.
because they wanted to play with you.
That's right. Yep.
And not against you.
You're welcome on this podcast anytime, by the way. Finally, you get a little bit of respect. So how did you finish overall as far as going to the games? Was that something that was
Wodapalooza. I didn't go to the games yet.
I mean, where did you
What was your
finish in the Open, and where
Oh.
would you have needed to finish to go to the games?
To go to regionals. That's what I just asked.
I
I'm
honestly
asking it
don't
again,
know
I'm paying attention.
what I finished in overall in the region, but I need to make a big jump if I want to go to regionals.
And so is that what you're doing now, is making that
That's
jump?
the goal.
All right.
You got
Cool.
it sighted in, and
Yeah.
that's where you're headed.
I'm
All right.
all in it now.
So-
Yeah, that's the goal.
So have you had a coach up until this point?
I don't really have like a specific coach that programs for me. I go to a gym at home, and obviously Matt's my coach here.
Uh-huh.
But there's not really like that one coach that I have. I kind of just program for myself.
Uh-huh.
So what's
Yeah.
your plan going forward? Are you going to continue doing that, or
I think so.
Right.
I kind of just want to do it all by myself. I've never really had a real coach give me programs. I've kind of just done it all by myself. Like before, or every night before the next training day, I kind of just sit down and think about what I want to do. If I haven't done a movement in a while, I'll add that in. Connor and we train a lot together, so we just look online for workouts that we want to do, and we just try to have fun with it.
You know, Rich Froning said the same thing, and I didn't believe him, and I don't believe you either. I think there's probably a scheme
don't have to
going
believe
on.
me.
Well, what
You don't have to.
Rich Froning did was he went to liftheavyrunlong.com, and for $3.99 a
That's what
month,
happened. Nobody knows that.
he started getting the daily
It's
workout.
The untold story.
And that's where Rich Froning.
When he and I
got
were
his-
at our
Rick
CrossFit
Froning. I can call him Rick. You know, he's been on
Yeah,
that
when
long.
your buddy.
When Rick and I were at our CrossFit Endurance certification together, I concocted this whole scheme. I was like, just don't tell anybody who's coaching you, because later on in a few years, we're going to launch this, the real thing. And now you can tell everybody. So if you want on that, you can.
So do you do more than one workout a day? Do you like work out in the morning
Yeah.
and then?
Yeah, I usually go 5:30 in the morning, and then I'll come back at 4 after class.
Okay.
And studying, I have to do that too.
Well, you and Connor came to Olive Branch CrossFit for a Saturday workout that
We
was
did.
a bruiser. It was a long workout. It was really hard. And then y'all stayed after to do another one with Vaughn. And Vaughn the next day was like, they just murdered me. I mean, I did it. Y'all did it in whatever, 6 minutes.
There's
7
like
minutes.
a 9-minute workout for these guys, and I'm like 15 minutes later, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna finish here in a second.
Well, and then I
Leave me
came
alone.
in the next day. I came in the next day and was like, I want to do something for, a longer workout, but I don't want to go as hard. I think I'm going to do the workout y'all did twice. And I got the first round through there, and I was like, I think I'm just going to make it through this workout. So like a half hour later, I did what y'all did in 8 minutes. So that's kind of where I am in the scheme of the whole
Yeah,
regionals.
they kind of talked us into that one. We weren't planning on doing it, but it looked so fun.
Where did the running come into the picture? It said that you've done 2 marathons, correct?
Yeah, I have.
Do you still run?
Sometimes. Yeah.
So you like
I ran
running
today.
okay?
What?
You like running okay?
Yeah. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it.
How did you get into the marathons?
My mom.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's ran a lot of marathons.
She said online it's 13. She commented.
Oh, did
It's
she?
13.
Sorry.
Oh, well,
I forgot to.
now that we're engaging with mom, mom, make
Should
your
just
trip.
call her.
Make your trip to Byhalia,
Come on down to
Mississippi.
Byhalia.
Mom and Dad are both watching. So
Yep.
it's-
We got
course
plenty
they
of
are.
room for you.
Always
and
supporting.
Have a great podcast.
That's awesome. So, tell me about your first marathon.
Oh,
How old were you when your
I
mom roped you
was-
into this thing?
I was 18 because you're not allowed to do a marathon before younger than 18.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I did not.
Yeah,
know
you have
that.
to
Is
be
that
18 for
in
at least for the
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh one that I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so after I did a half whenever I was 16. And I was like, okay, I've done a half. Now what? I'm going to do a full. So I had to wait till I turned 18, ran my first full, and then I signed up for the Disney Marathon the day after I ran my first full. And then I did Disney the following year.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite races.
So fun.
Did you do the marathon strictly on your CrossFit training, or were you
Yes.
doing run training? I love that. That's what I wanted to
Well,
hear.
mom was already doing CrossFit, right?
Right.
Is that true? So then she just roped you into the CrossFit thing and
Yeah.
said,
So my gym at home, Raw Training, they have a marathon coach too. Her name's Janine Marcoux.
Cool.
You've probably seen her.
Okay.
She runs with Steve, I believe. They just posted a picture and they were both in it. But she does programming for it, so it's mostly CrossFit, but you'll still run a few times a week, and you'll do one longer run a week, and that really helped me. It got me through it. So
"That's the
cool.
model. That's what we do
That is
Yeah.
the model.
for sure." I've done that for 9 years.
It was a great training program.
How much extra, aside from your regular CrossFit, how much extra time were you putting into your running?
For the marathon training,
Yeah.
maybe 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Isn't that great?
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how'd you feel during your marathon?
It was okay.
Pretty
Like I said,
level?
I got through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you have any interest in running further than that?
No.
Vaughn just finished a 100-miler.
Yeah, I heard.
I did
How
do
was
that.
that?
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It was incredible. It was the most amazing thing, I think, outside of having children that I've ever done in my life.
Vaughn's giving birth to children too.
Well, I've
He's
fathered
witnessed the
children.
birth of the
That's a pretty amazing
that-
thing.
So would you ever want to do a
Way to
100-mile
make me
race?
feel stupid, dude. Thank you. All right.
100?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm never going to say never, but
That would be
I don't
hard.
have any plans to
that
do
would
it.
probably be hard to fit in with the intense CrossFit that you got going on.
Yeah.
Well, see, you've already done a marathon, and a 50K is only another 6 miles, so you just need to sign up for a 50K trail race, and that's where you can call yourself an ultra runner.
Yeah. Is a marathon not ultra runner? You got to do more than that.
Well, ultra marathon is bigger than
Okay.
longer than a marathon, so anything over 26.
And you always throw in that only a 10K further. A 10K is a long ways to go in and of itself.
Hey, this is my story, bro.
Okay.
All right. So you ran your first marathon when you were 18, and then you decided to go do Disney. How long between those two was it?
It was. Sorry, I have to think about this. I need to use my fingers to count.
It was like it's like 8 or 9 months, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Well, it was in May. Pittsburgh was in
Yeah.
May, and then Disney
Disney's
was in
in
January.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But you made the decision within 24 hours of
Yeah,
finishing the
I think I had like the runner's high, and I was like, let's do this
There
again.
you go.
After Disney, that was not the case. I was like, I'm done.
All right. I'm going to go
enough.
try.
I saw
I'm just
Mickey
gonna,
and I left.
just going to do CrossFit competitions from now
Did you
on.
Yeah.
stop at like every mile marker and get your picture taken, and all of the character stops that they have
I
along the
didn't.
race?
The lines were very long for
Ridiculous.
that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So where does it all end? Your future consists of just CrossFitting and going as far as you can, making it to the games, and just winning the thing
Yeah.
and becoming a
I like it.
international
You
sensation.
got to have high goals.
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I love the attitude. And then if say that things don't go your way or you come across an injury, what would you like to do?
I don't know. But I'm majoring in marketing. Both of my parents own their own businesses, so that's kind of inspired me. So maybe one day I could own my own business. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that does sound.
I don't know what I would do, but
Well, it sounds like you have options. If you have parents who are entrepreneurs, then you probably have that entrepreneurial spirit in you. And I would imagine that as far as you've come in such a short time with CrossFit, that you're only going to go further. And with all that will come more opportunities and more connections. And there's just no telling where you'll land.
everything happens for a reason. So
That's right.
We'll see what happens.
Now that you've been on this show, it's all
Yeah.
It's gonna
Set.
explode.
blow
That's
up.
right. That's right.
Endorsement dollars will start
Signing
flowing
autographs
in.
next weekend.
it's-
Well, listen, I've really appreciated your time. This has
Thank
been
you.
a great show, and we wish you all the best of luck in the future.
Thank you
Do
very
you have
much.
anything that you want to plug, or you have a website or a blog or anything like that going?
I do not. Follow me on Instagram.
What is
Gina DeLucia with the extra A.
Gina DeLucia with the extra A on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 98 is in the books.